probably hear some cars and stuff in the background. I kind of want to do this outside, just as something different. I know the sun may be on my face, but what I want to do is to do another, just a quick talk, really, a little bit about grief, and it's the second part of a video that I did way back in 2018 when I talked about the selfishness of grief. Okay, so good evening, guys. I thought I'd come back and wait until I got back into my office to do this second part because it was a bit noisy. Beautiful day though, but it was a bit noisy. And so yeah, moving forward, I'm going to talk about this. Is the second part of the selfishness of grief video that I did, and though many people would consider that title to be something of a negative aspect, it wasn't, but it was certainly a wake-up call. And I had many people message me and even comment of how that actually helped them. And so I want to take it a little bit deeper. You know, the way that I spoke about it previously, we're going to kind of go forward more with that and look at the possible implications of this aspect of grief. Now, one of the things that I use a term called the pareidolia of grief, right? Pareidolia of grief. Pareidolia is like a phenomena of or not a phenomena, but creating things in your mind, seeing, like, you look at the clouds and you immediately make a shape up of it, or you look at something, you make a shape of it. There's an element of grief where people who are grieving will try and take any kind of symbol, sign, image, voice, auditory, whether they're trying to record it on tape recorders. Often you're getting lulled into a false sense of security, and it's not good for your journey in grief. It's not good for you to put all your faith and your hope in what I call these trinkets, things that are the pareidolia of grief, if you like, because here's the thing that you don't think about. Like I said in the previous video, your loved ones are not there continually talking to you in your ear or your head. They're not there 24/7 at your whim, and they're connected to you with a love bond. But they're alive. They're not dead. There's no such thing as death. They're alive. They're on the other side of life, and they're enjoying life, and they're learning, and they're living their life over there. And so there's an aspect of you continually thinking that they're around you, or needing that maybe around you. Like I said in the last video, like they have to be. I want them there constantly. I hear them. I see them. I feel them. Then they're never leaving me. I can talk to them 24/7 and they'll answer. You're lulling yourself into a false sense of security, okay? Because the reality is that you are missing probably some of the greatest evidences of your loved ones around you in following what I call chasing rainbows and chasing these trinkets of phenomena, of the pareidolia of grief. There's a lot of research in mediumship. Now, I'm not taking away this, and there's continual research, but when you're grieving, there's a lot that you shouldn't delve into. One of these things, and people, I try to say this time and time again, is dangerous, okay? The afterlife is not all a bed of roses. When you're continually trying to get a sign, or you're continually believing that you're in communication with spirit 24/7, you're leaving yourself open to a lot of problems. You're leaving yourself open, and I can tell you this from example. I have had people contact me, people who are grieving, and only in the last couple of months I actually had a medium contact me who was grieving and who was having problems because they were continually working with spirit 24/7 and basically imbalanced. I had families who were grieving that were continually chasing these rainbows, chasing these images, chasing orbs, chasing these things. these things are not evidence of the afterlife, okay? These things are not evidence of your loved ones. There is no evidence that you're getting from these in reality. And it can be concocted by a negative spirit. It can be, a malevolent intelligence can show you what you want to see. My wish for you is that you get so much knowledge and so much wisdom and so much development in yourself that you're able to deepen your connection. Because imagine what it's like when you're continually thinking that you're in communication with a spirit, or you're trying to see their signs on some smoke, or you're trying to see their signs on things. There's people that do research into these things and they're not really grieving. They're doing research from a scientific basis. But when you're grieving, you are vulnerable and you are opening yourself up to these things, and it's something that you shouldn't do. I would rather that you developed your connection to your loved ones on a deeper level and started getting real evidence of them around you. Because I can sit, anybody can sit and hear things in their mind that they create. It's illusionary. They create it with their own ego, or they create it through their own need and their own desire. But it doesn't really have any evidential capacity. If I can give you an example of maybe an evidential connection, I'm going to use an example from just recently, something that happened for me even after my surgery. I felt I had spirit around me, and I could communicate with that spirit. And the message was actually for someone way back in the UK. And I actually didn't know the story of what had happened recently. And I just reached out with some information about this person's son and his father not actually... there was nothing set up, there was nothing at all, and I would not normally do this, but I passed the information through because the information came very, very strong and very clear through spirit. I was able to discern it, and discern it well, and know that it wasn't coming from my own mind. I know that it was actually coming from a benevolent intelligence, and it just so happened that that information was incredibly accurate, and in actual fact that gentleman had just experienced something with the passing of his father, and that day had actually taken some action that came through in that information that came through. And this was after my surgery, and also evidential information that came via that side of things here in America to validate the actual name of the person that he's been speaking to just recently. So this information, I'm not telling you this to show myself up in any way. I'm telling you this because I've gone through grief. I've lost a lot of people, but I've gone to a point where I can discern the real difference between what's in my mind and what's communicating by spirit. Now, if there's an imbalance in you, if there's an imbalance in your grief because you're emotionally not ready, other spirits on the other side that want to play with you and cause suffering to you can give you what you want, and then it can turn malevolent, which has happened recently in a couple of cases that I've been involved in, where the grief was so deep that it actually turned sinister at one point. So there's an element of danger in it. There definitely is an element of danger, but in all honesty, that aside, what I want you to do or to achieve is a deeper connection with your loved ones, because while you're chasing rainbows and while you're chasing every little thing to try and force a sign for you that your loved one's there, and not considering that your loved one's actually living their life on the spirit side, you're missing so many very real, very evidential messages that they're coming through with. Signs that they're coming through to you. Not little illusionary things that's happening, but real signs, real synchronicities in music, synchronicities in messages, sending you beautiful signs through nature. All of these things that have some validation and corroboration that help you to develop that deeper connection, that when you go into a deep meditative state or you go into your sleep state, they can reach you in their dreams. There is a need, ladies and gentlemen, for balance in your approach to grief. There is a need for balance in your approach to life, in everything that you do. And certainly if you have an interest in afterlife stuff, you definitely need to have some balance. Now, where am I leading with this? Well, I'm going to be developing a very kind of deep course on grief and communication and deepening your connection with your loved ones. And I'm not going to charge for it at all. You will be able to register for that course. There'll be a link below. And if you haven't watched the video that I did previously on the selfishness of grief, then I'm going to put it up here or wherever it is, up either side. And you can go and watch that video. I would suggest you do that before you dive into this one. But I'm actually going to be developing an educational course which I'm going to give away in my grief group for free. You're going to be able to register for it. It's not going to be open to just everybody and anybody who wants it. It will be connected to the grief group, and it will be connected to other areas that I offer it out to. And you'll be able to register for that, and you'll be able to go in, and there will be no charge for it. If you want to make a donation while you do it, you can make a donation to our charity. There'll be a link for it there. It's going to take me a little while to do this because it's going to be a lot of information. It's going to be a good few videos that's going to go right into the whole aspect of grief and death and dying, mediumship, communication, and the afterlife, and give you more of a grounded educational approach to things, to understand things, and from a scientific point of view as well. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited to give it to you to help you in your journey. So look out for that because it's coming. But I want to finish this off with just a warning. I understand that grief is a terrible affliction that we suffer from. To lose a loved one and to lose that physical connection, it's horrible. I understand that, I know. When you haven't said goodbye to your loved ones and not had that chance. But don't chase rainbows. Chase evidence. Get evidence, real evidence. Develop your connection with your loved ones in the spirit. Develop your life to a stronger degree, that you have a deeper understanding and can open yourself up to the opportunities and the possibilities that render itself to you from the other side. Because chasing rainbows, there is no pot of gold at the end of it. And creating connection that you think is there that's not there will devastate you in the future at some point. And it can throw you into a deeper realm of grief. And having everybody feed you with, yes, that's a sign and this is a sign and this is not right either, because it's feeding you a false sense of security. So put yourself on the fast track to learning the language of the soul and getting balance in your grief. And understand, ladies and gentlemen, that your loved ones are not by your side 24/7. They're not whispering in your ear constantly. They are not continually sending you signs. They have a life to live in the spirit world. And you holding on to this, trying to get that all the time from them, it's almost like you're pulling them forward and you're not letting them go. You're not allowing them to live their life. I'm not going to say that you're holding them back, because I don't necessarily believe in that. But not only is it damaging yourself, but you are in certain aspects causing them suffering. You're not holding them back, but you are causing them suffering. Why? Because they see you still suffer, and they see you suffering more. And whilst they're trying to communicate with you and trying to reach out to you and give you very real evidences that they're around you, you're missing it because you're chasing the rainbows. You're missing it because you are not trying to understand the grief at a deeper level, and you're missing it because in your selfishness of grief, you're holding yourself back, but you're causing them suffering because they love you and they see the suffering that you're causing yourself. And you don't want that. You want to understand them. And like I said in another video, you want to know that they're there. You want to feel that they're there. You want to know and be happy and content that they're developing their life and that they're doing. I have a great relationship with my father now. And I'm able to communicate at a deeper level and understand what he's doing on the other side. I'm very lucky that way. Some of you that hold on and won't let go, you're not doing yourself any favours, because maybe, you know, it would be a great experience to actually know or feel what your loved one's doing on the other side and how they're developing and how they're actually moving forward and learning and living their life. Be happy for them. Be happy, don't be sad for them. And don't continually think that they're there at your beck and call, because that spirit who may be communicating with you that you think is there may not be the one that you think it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking forward to bringing this course to you. I'm looking forward to engaging with you. And also, I have a new community called Afterlife Education there, and there will be a link. You can come and join it. There is no guarantee that you will be accepted. You'll have to fill in a form. It's a great community, growing community, educational resources, education, and some great people that are going to be there. Even clients of mine and students and all sorts, and colleagues. And we're going to grow this away from Facebook, very secure, very safe, and a place where you can learn. So the link will be below to the form, and you're welcome to apply. There's no guarantee it will get in, but I look forward to sharing knowledge and wisdom with you guys. If you've got any questions, then please send them, write them below, or send them to me privately. You can follow me on Instagram. I normally communicate with people on Instagram more than I do anywhere else on social media, because that's private and I can send you messages. So, you know, jump over there, and if you've got a question, I can't always respond when you want to, but I will respond. Okay, because I do have other people that do social things for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got any questions, then please get back to me. If you're listening on the podcast, then please subscribe to the podcast if you haven't done so. And if you're listening or watching and listening on YouTube and you haven't subscribed and you want to subscribe and learn more about the work that I do and the afterlife and the paranormal, then please do so. Subscribe in the little button, and I look forward to communicating with you all very soon. God bless.